Hello, my name is Maddie Deschard, and this is my summative and final exam presentation for reading diagnosis and assessment. So I was very blessed to work with two super sweet students. Their names were Salir and Briasia. I knew that the very first meeting with them would be more about getting to know them and making them comfortable. So I anticipated them being a little bit nervous, and I decided to bring in some pictures. So I brought in a photo of my siblings and I brought in a picture of my dog. And this turned out to be a great hit with both of the students. Salir was very shy during our first session, but as soon as we started talking about siblings, he lit right up. And then Briasia was outgoing from the very moment I met her, and she probably would have kept talking had I not stopped us so that we could get to the lesson. But after the first session, I gathered that Salir and Briasia were both very interested and excited to learn to read, but that they were a bit behind in their learning and like learning their letters and progressing towards sight reading, like that was still a little bit far off and they needed more work with that. So I decided to collect my student data on Briasia because she was slightly ahead of Salir in her letter identification and her phoneme identification. She did not master any of the areas in the first assessment. In PA1, the initial sounds exercise, she scored 30% correct. In PA2, the phoneme blending exercise, she got 20% correct. And then in PA3, the phoneme segmentation exercise, she got a 30% again. So Briasia could identify about half of her letter sounds, and then she could identify even less than half than the letter names. So those were definitely something that we were going to work on. For my lesson plans, I had to adapt things so that Briasia would stay engaged. She was very antsy and just very excited to learn, but we had to spend some time like getting her to refocus. And so we started doing exercises straight from the teacher manual, which were very helpful. And we worked on identifying phonemes because that was definitely something she showed that she needed practice with. And I found that she really liked playing Tap It Out. And this was an exercise from the manual. And we made this fun by having her tap out the sounds in a word with her finger or with her pencil or with my water bottle, whatever we could find to make it fun. And sometimes she would get a little bit excited with this one, and I would have to say, okay, we have to lightly tap this one, but it was a good exercise that she enjoyed. And through the weeks that we were together, she was able to correctly tap out multiple words and she allowed me to move on and introduce new words. So there were 4 words that she definitely mastered during our time together, and those were cat, map, sun, and big. Another exercise that Briasia got excited about targeted her letter skills, and it was called using the magic pencil. And so again, we used our finger or a pencil or my water bottle to make this fun, and what she had to do was, trace out the letters just in the air. And this was helpful because Briasia would often get all the mistakes out while she was writing with the magic pencil, and then we would move on and practice writing her letters on the paper, and she would do it correctly because we had gone through it beforehand. So through our lessons, Briasia was in need of something to motivate her. And as I said earlier, Briasia is very talkative and excited and a little bit antsy, so it was hard for us to stay on task. And something that helped me with this was introducing a sticker card. And I just got a cheap pad of stickers from Walmart and grabbed an index card from my desk at school. And I told her that if we get through our exercises for the day, that she would earn a sticker, that she would get to pick it out. And this was exciting. And I did this same thing for Salir, and they both loved it. And it really did keep us on task for our lessons. So when I reassessed Briasia for the first time, she made a noticeable improvement. She almost mastered PA1, receiving a 70%. She received 30% for PA2, and then finished PA3 with a 50%. So in all those three areas, she did improve. Um, and she also crept up to identifying about 70% of her letter sounds. She wasn't quite there, but she got more than the first time. And then for her letter names, she identified about 50% of them. So it was noticeable that she was learning well in class as well as like getting the extra practice with me. And these improvements led me to continue on the same path that we were on. When I changed my lesson plans at all, it was for the sake of keeping Briasia engaged rather than like changing what we were targeting for practice, if that makes sense. And yeah, like working on her phonemic awareness and her writing skills was something that we consistently kept working on. So for my next steps, what we would have done, I decided to, or what I planned that I was going to do with Briasia was continue working on her phonemic awareness practice, as I just stated, but I was also planning to introduce a new book to her before our last session, and I received this like beginner reading book for Christmas for my future classroom, and I thought this would be awesome to show to Briasia because she would get so excited when we would go to read the book that came in her folder. Um, and finally, after getting some practice with this book, I would have reassessed her one more time. And although this last assessment was not possible, I am really glad that we were able to do the one reassessment because she did show improvement, and that was really promising. So, what was beneficial to my role as an educator? I would say that this entire experience of being a tutor and having a tutee was just so beneficial to my formation of becoming an educator. So as field experience does, this experience in a school with students that actually do need a tutor and actually are struggling was just a perfect time to put into practice everything that we've been learning in our education courses. And it was very beneficial for me to have to like navigate through the challenges and the hurdles that come with teaching a student. And this involved like getting to know both of my students and recognizing what motivates them so that they can stay engaged in what we're going through in our lesson. And this will be something that I will have to do frequently as an educator. So getting some practice now is very valuable to me. So. And now I just have my goodbye letter to Salir and Briasia. And I just wanted to say to them, thank you for being such amazing students. And I had so much fun with you. The best part of my week was always seeing you two. Keep practicing your reading, find a book that you like, and make reading fun. Remember, you can do anything if you believe in yourself. You are going to do amazing things. Have a wonderful summer. Sincerely, Miss Maddie. So this was just such an awesome experience, and although I wish I could say goodbye in person, I know that it's okay and that like they'll continue on next year, and it will be a wonderful experience for them to continue reading through the summer too. So finally, I just wanted to thank Dr. McVeigh for this semester, and I look forward to seeing you in the fall and seeing everybody else in the fall and just being back on campus. So thank you.